Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Bob McKillop Show, brought to you by OrthoCarolina. Nice to have you in the audience today. Boy, basketball is an up-and-down game, isn't it, Coach?
A challenging week, to say the least, and ever so close, John. Yep. A one-point loss on Tuesday at Dayton, a three-point loss against Richmond at home. Two games that we were ever so close.
You know, there's so many. How many possessions on average does Davidson get in a basketball game?
55, 60.
Yeah, and I would think that as a coach, it is really one of the most challenging things about your job is to convince a young player that every one of those possessions could be a game-changing play. We
have a objective every game, every film session, every practice. And there are four objectives actually: get better, have fun, play to win, and fight to win every possession. And we broke down the Dayton game in which we showed 30 plays, that if we had fought more to win that one possession, that would have been the difference in the game. And it's the same with the Richmond game. And at times, and particularly in the Dayton game, we fought for 22 seconds, 23 seconds, and those last 5 seconds we didn't finish it off. And that's something we've just got to get better at. And our guys understand it, and they really want to do it, but sometimes the fatigue factor, sometimes the previous play factor, sometimes the opponent, their talent prevents us from finishing plays.
Well, there are similarities in the two games as far as plays that hurt Davidson against Dayton and Richmond?
I think there was more of a turnover issue with Richmond. With Dayton, it was more finishing a possession as a problem. In both cases, the turnovers against Richmond just very uncharacteristic of us. Not finishing the possession against Dayton was because our first 20 seconds of the possession was so good defensively that the clock had gotten to that point of 10 seconds or under.
I know you got behind right off the bat at Dayton into a, I think, 12-0 hold. How much does that bother you to get down like that as far as talking to the players?
Well, what was thrilling for me was the way we came back. We came back in the first half, we came back in the second half, and that is a sign of getting better. And I thought we had the same sequence yesterday on a couple of occasions where we had an early lead, but then we gave it up, and we came back on two occasions and unfortunately could not come back and keep and maintain that lead as which we had earned, but we didn't get to the point where we kept and maintained that lead.
One of the players that starts for Davidson is senior Oscar Mickelson. He's played a lot of different roles while a member of the Wildcat basketball program. Coach, how's Oscar's game right now?
Well, he's a guy who came in as a freshman and was such a pleasant surprise. And having Brian and Jack and Tyler in the backcourt, along with Jordan Barham and Peyton Aldrich, gave Oscar the freedom to just be the fifth option in the offense. And then all of a sudden, as a sophomore and junior, he really struggled to defend the perimeter. So he spent an extraordinary amount of time this summer working to become a post defender, working so that we could learn in the 4 spot and the 5 spot. And he's been there for us since day one of the season. And I'm so happy that he's having this opportunity as a senior to get the kind of playing time he's getting.
Oscar Mickelson, one of Davidson's senior players. We had an opportunity to sit down and talk to Oscar, and you're going to see that interview when we continue with the Bob McKillop Show right after this.
When my husband fell and landed on his shoulder, the pain was immediate, and my worry was too. He needed to see the right doctor right away. After searching for a doctor that specializes in injuries like my husband's, with hours that are convenient for nights and weekends, we chose the urgent care at OrthoCarolina. I know I made the right decision by taking him to the right place. OrthoCarolina, keeping you close to the things you love.
Hey, Wildcat fans! When it comes to game day, it's all about the food. And Harris Teeter has everything you need. Delicious subs and wraps, fresh hot store-made pizza, crowd-pleasing party platters, or ready-to-serve wing trays, just to name a few. Firing up the grill? Harris Teeter Reserve Angus Beef will be the superstar of your game day meal. We guarantee it. Stop in your Harris Teeter for great savings on game day foods, or download the HT app to order ahead. Harris Teeter, where Wildcat fans shop for groceries.
No two people are exactly alike. We wear different
clothes.
We listen to different music. We like different
food. But we all want to lead healthy lives. And if we're sick or hurt, we want expert care.
Modern miracles with kindness and compassion.
So yes, we're all different, but we're all the same.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Bob McKillop Show. I'm John Kilgo. Thank you for being with us today. One of the favorite parts of this program is have Davidson players come on so we'll have a chance to talk to them and you'll get to know them a little bit better. And today we have Oscar Mickelson, Davidson Sr. You've had a great season so far. Has it been fun for you?
Thank you. Yeah, it's been definitely fun. Like the last few weeks, it's been even more fun, with the results we've been getting. But you can tell, I've been here for 4 years now, and this team is really tied together, and the chemistry is there, so it's been really fun throughout the year.
You played some really good teams in the preseason, what I call the preseason anyway, in North Carolina, Virginia, Nevada, people like that. How did that help you prepare for the A-10 season?
Well, non-conference is always we play so-called easier opponents, and then these tough ones you talked about, and it really challenge us every day, get ready for these teams, and then when the conference season starts, we have those experiences from earlier, and even though we didn't get wins this year against those teams, they really helped us, with their size and the athleticism we face now in the A-10. So that's definitely been a big help for us. One
of the reasons that Davidson's rebounding has improved since the first of the season to now is because of Oscar and the role that you play in that department. As you look at the team as a rebounding team and how much it has improved over the last month, what do you see, Oscar?
I think it's just everyone's kind of stepped on a podium and taking a little more pride about it. We had some atrocious performances earlier, in the year, North Carolina, and that's everyone's just trying to box their man out and go after the ball. So it's kind of a mentality thing too. We introduced this a veto award, which is given to the player who fights the most after every game. So that might have also changed our mentality a little bit, like Matt McKillop told us. But I think it's more a mentality thing.
One of the things that Oscar does, he can shoot the outside shot and shoot it really well. But now you're also attacking the basket this year, which I think opens up a lot of things for Peyton and other people on the inside. What has been your thought process along those lines?
I switched positions last year from more a perimeter guard to an inside player and a post player. But now, defenses are focusing a lot on Peyton, so that opens up a lot of cutting lanes and slashes, and if those cuts previously started from a perimeter, now they're starting from inside a 3-point line, which is gives a little more a little shorter distance, and that gives me a chance to finish in the rim and stuff like that. So.
One of the things Davidson has done really well, and surprising because Bob McKillop has not been a zone coach for much of his career, but you've been in a zone a good bit this year, Oscar, and you've done it very well. What is the philosophy that you try to take to the court as a team when you're playing zone defense?
We just stay active, use our length, because we have longer guards now. Jack Gibbs, although he was a great player, he was 6 footer, 5'11". So now we have Kellen Grady, kind of taking that spot, and Keyshawn, really big guard as well. So we kind of just try to play the passing lanes, make the offense get out of their rhythm, and that has worked so well for us. And so I think we're going to keep doing that.
As you're halfway through your senior season at Davidson, did you start the year with any individual or team goals? If so, what were they?
No, I didn't set any goals. We just kind of all the seniors, we talked about, we just want to go out there, have fun, enjoy every moment we have, just get better, show the young guys what it's all about, and so far we've done a pretty good job, I think.
And then your basketball in the United States, you're well acclimated, of course, to it now. What kind of experience has it been playing for Davidson?
Oh, it's been amazing. You know, just being around his team and like tough schedules every year, playing in big arenas. It's been, you know, better than I ever thought it could be, and you know, I'm just really forward to like next 2 months to see where it takes us this year.
A10 games are competitive. Are they fun for a player?
Yeah, for sure. That's like you know, like big arenas, you know, tough opponents, you know, being on national TV, it's really fun.
You're having a great season. Keep it up, Oscar.
Thank you.
Oscar Mickelson, our guest. We'll be back with Coach McKillop right after this.
Hendrick. The road home just got a lot more exciting. With Hendrick BMW's Road Home Sales Event, now is the best time to buy with 0% financing or make no payments for 90 days. Choose from over 900 vehicles, including our entire lineup of American-made sport activity vehicles, like the all-new BMW X3. Plus, all new BMWs come with free scheduled maintenance. Hurry to Hendrick BMW on Independence Boulevard and at the North Lake Auto Mall and HendrickBMW.com.
2,000. We're 2,000 who take shots on the national stage and then to those in need, and build education systems and bracket algorithms and drench the food deserts, flip the lectures, save the swamps, and study Blackbeard's beauty with a 3D X-ray, and biomechanics, photon mechanics, borders, bulbs, and bees, and inspire better ways, stronger people, and new ideas relentlessly. Because at Davidson College, we don't just prepare for the world, we prepare to make it better.
Tailgating is awesome, unless you spend the whole tailgate waiting on your burger. The Bojangles Big Bow Box has everything you need for a great tailgate party. And none of the cleanup.
Grab a Bojangles Big Bow Box and feed the whole group with chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Welcome back, everybody, with Coach Bob McKillop. I'm John Kilgo, talking Davidson basketball and college basketball in general, and it's nice to have you with us. Coach, we ask for questions from Davidson fans every week on this show. This comes from Chip Richard from Chapel Hill. You know him, don't you?
I sure do. Yeah. Wonderful, absolutely sensational alum fan of ours, and of course from the great Richards family.
He wants to know how do you delegate scouting responsibilities and assignments throughout the season?
It's done in a very carefully orchestrated way. Each team has one chief scout and one assistant scout. So for instance, with Dayton, the chief scout was Kevin, and the assistant scout in that game was Will Toney. For Richmond, the head scout was Will Regal, and the assistant was Ryan Mee. Together, they look at a wide number of videos of the opponent. They put together a game plan. They suggest a practice plan, and they have certain assignments on the bench during the game as the game goes by as to what they have to do in the timeouts, foul shots, dead ball situations. So it's a fairly sophisticated process, and I think we have great analysts. I think every one of our assistant coaches do a spectacular job of analyzing the opponent, then presenting and selling a game plan to our team in conjunction with that.
At what point do they involve you heavily in the scout?
We generally have a meeting well in advance of the game, just me and the two scouts, discuss what we're going to try to do in strategy, in practice. So, and then they suggest games for me to watch. They put together clips for me to view. So they consolidate some of the game footage by making it just individual clips for individual situations.
Okay, Coach, we have one now from Mark from Gastonia. He wants to know how much of the practice plan is based on reacting to the previous game?
I'll give you a great example. As we prepare for LaSalle, the strategy for LaSalle will be pivotal in terms of our analysis of the video footage from Richmond. So that is going to help us prepare for LaSalle. So it's both a reaction to the Richmond game, but it's a preparation for the LaSalle game. And we try to combine it in both. We don't want to dwell too much upon what happened in Richmond because of their defense, which is particular to them. But there are certain aspects of their defense in which we attacked or did not attack that will be very, very important as we prepare for LaSalle. Same thing defensively. There are certain aspects of our defense that were significant in the Richmond game, some that will not be a factor at all with LaSalle, but some that will be. So we structure the video, we structure game planning based upon preparation for LaSalle and not dwell too much upon Richmond.
Is it, after you play a team twice, like you played Richmond for the second time on Sunday, do the game plans change much from game one to game two?
Richmond, it does, because of the peculiarity of their defense and their offensive attack. Most other teams are very similar in terms of their attack and in terms of their defense. LaSalle will be a little different because they switch defenses so much. So it'll only be our first time against LaSalle, but nevertheless, we'll have to make adjustments to our offensive plan.
Coach Bob McKillop with you this afternoon. Glad to have you in the audience. Davidson faces another busy week of basketball. Coach will be back to talk about that and more right after this.
Life. It happens. And sometimes, all you can focus on is the pain. At OrthoCarolina, we want to restore you to a life without the pain. A life where the activities you pursue are no longer hindered. A life where you can freely enjoy and participate in the lives of the people closest to you. OrthoCarolina. You improve.
At Lake Norman Infiniti, when it comes to supporting the Davidson Wildcats, we don't just put our money where our mouth is, we put your money back in your pocket. That's because all students, faculty, staff, and alumni receive Davidson supporter prices on any new Infiniti or pre-owned vehicle. Of course, every Wildcat gets a special welcome and our first-rate customer service. So if we don't see you in the stands as we cheer on the Wildcats, we look forward to seeing you here at Lake Norman Infiniti, where Wildcats are welcome.
Honoring all-around excellence in men's and women's collegiate competition. Every division, every sport, the Learfield Directors Cup. The prestigious award continues its reign as the crowning achievement in college athletics. To follow your favorite team, like us on Facebook, find us online and on Twitter. The Learfield Directors Cup.
No two people are exactly alike. We wear different
clothes.
We listen to different music. We like different
food. But we all want to lead healthy lives. And if we're sick or hurt, we want expert care.
Modern miracles with kindness and compassion.
So yes, we're all different, but we're all the same.
Welcome back, everybody. Coach Bob McKillop with you. I'm John Kilgo. Nice to have you in the audience. Coach, a friend of yours that you know very well that's become quite a TV analyst, college basketball, Jay Billis, talks a lot about replays, how long they take, and the effect they have on basketball games. How do you feel about the role that television replays has played in college basketball?
I think it's very necessary because there are so many calls that are pivotal to the outcome of the game, and I do have a strong feeling about it because we played Marquette, I guess it was in 11 or 12, or maybe 13, and they had no timeouts left, and the ball went out of bounds against us with 5 seconds to go, and they wanted to have a replay as to where it went out of bounds, and it gave Marquette an opportunity for a timeout. And I thought it was an unfair advantage to have that chance to get over to the bench and consult with the coach. And I've suggested that when there are replays, that the team must stay on the court, be it in the lane, be it at center court, but they are not able to have any contact with the bench or be over at the bench. And, you know, we as coaches are restricted to a coaching box. I think there should be something put into the game where the players are restricted from going to the bench during that time period.
You know, one of the great things about Davidson College basketball and players that play for Coach McKillop are the number that go on to do fantastic things with their lives when they leave here. I can't think of anybody, Coach, that has done more than Andrew Lovedale to help people in dire need. And I know you've participated with him in the program.
Andrew's foundation, A2S Foundation, is changing Nigeria. It's changing the lives of so many people over there. And little by little, as it changes one or two lives, all of a sudden it impacts so many more lives. And Andrew has been doing this now since 2007, 2008. So in a sense, it's a 10-year anniversary of his initial actions of sending sneakers over to the young kids of Benin City in Nigeria, and is now mushroomed into a full year-round operation. And Andrew, as the leader of this foundation, has changed so many lives. And as I said, when you change a few lives, all of a sudden there's the rippling effect, and it could change an entire community, which could then change an entire city, which might lead to changing an entire country. And knowing the great dreams that Andrew has and knowing the way he's able to fulfill those dreams, I think he's well on his way to achieving that great challenge and success.
You went there last July to be with him. How did it impact your life?
Eye-opening, spiritually uplifting, life-changing, to see the experience that the people of Nigeria have on a day-by-day basis as compared to what we have here in America certainly makes you feel very blessed to be here in America, but also challenges you to say, hey, we can help other people, and this is a great way to help other people through Andrew's foundation.
Well, Andrew will have a special night, including Andrew Lovedale, on Wednesday night at John Belk Arena when LaSalle comes calling in another important A-10 game. Coach McKillop will talk about it right after this.
When my husband fell and landed on his shoulder, the pain was immediate, and my worry was too. He needed to see the right doctor right away. After searching for a doctor that specializes in injuries like my husband's, with hours that are convenient for nights and weekends, we chose the urgent care at OrthoCarolina. I know I made the right decision by taking him to the right place. OrthoCarolina, keeping you close to the things you love.
When my hair gets too long, I lose my edge. But when my cut's right, I'm right. I'm back to being me. My dimples activate. My cleft chin becomes cleftier. I get a twinkle on my tooth, and I speak fluent French. Garbage, chaise lounge, mayonnaise. Au revoir!
Get in, get out, back to greatness. Download the online check-in app. Great clips. It's gonna be great.
Hey, Wildcat fans! When it comes to game day, it's all about the food. And Harris Teeter has everything you need. Delicious subs and wraps, fresh hot store-made pizza, crowd-pleasing party platters, or ready-to-serve wing trays, just to name a few. Firing up the grill? Harris Teeter Reserve Angus Beef will be the superstar of your game day meal. We guarantee it. Stop in your Harris Teeter for great savings on game day foods, or download the HT app to order ahead. Harris Teeter, where Wildcat fans shop for groceries.
Hendrick. The road home just got a lot more exciting. With Hendrick BMW's Road Home Sales Event, now is the best time to buy with 0% financing or make no payments for 90 days. Choose from over 900 vehicles, including our entire lineup of American-made sport activity vehicles, like the all-new BMW X3. Plus, all new BMWs come with free scheduled maintenance. Hurry to Hendrick BMW on Independence Boulevard and at the North Lake Auto Mall and HendrickBMW.com.
Welcome back, everybody. The Wildcats continue A-10 play Wednesday night, John Belk Arena, 7 o'clock tip, Davidson versus LaSalle. And let me mention that the game is going to benefit Andrew Lovedale's Access to Success Foundation. Fans are encouraged to bring a pair of lightly worn shoes for donation to Andrew's foundation. So we hope that works out well for Andrew and his kids. Coach LaSalle, big game for the Wildcats. Bouncing back. This is up and down in the league like A-10. It's almost inevitable that teams are going to lose some, win some.
You look at the standings in the A-10 and you see how balanced it is, with the exception of Rhode Island, which is clearly at the top, undefeated. LaSalle's going to come in here with two leading scorers in the conference, B.J. Johnson and Pookie Powell, both outstanding players. I think BJ came to LaSalle from Syracuse, and Pookie transferred. I'm not sure where he came from, but he also transferred in, and they're very mature, very experienced, very talented, versatile scorers, but they're surrounded by a cast of about 6-7 guys who are going to make them really be very difficult to stop. They're lethal offensively. Defensively, they have great quickness. They create a lot of problems because of their quickness. They generate turnovers, and once they get a turnover, they're pretty tough to stop in transition.
Each team is different. I don't care if you have 5 seniors coming back, each team is different. Your teams have been very resilient in years past. How do you expect this team to bounce back from 2 tough losses?
We've traditionally had success coming back from a loss, bouncing back. It's going to take a concerted effort. It can't be one guy trying to lead us. It's got to be everybody on the team, top to bottom of the roster, trying to lead us as we prepare for LaSalle. Our guys know the sense of urgency that a game like this presents to us. Our guys know the challenge of a game like this, and I know that we will practice very well. And what we got to do is we got to convert that practice performance into game performance.
Good luck against LaSalle, Coach.
Thanks, John.
We thank you very much for listening. Davidson, LaSalle, 7 o'clock, John Belk Arena, and then the Wildcats will travel to Washington, D.C. to take on George Washington Saturday. That will be a 4 o'clock game. Thanks for watching, everybody. Coach McKillop returns next week.